And welcome back. Well, recent research about respect in the workplace shows that 80% of employees who responded feel a lack of respect is a serious problem. 6 out of 10 say it's getting worse. Shocking to me. So today, subtle ways to disrespect is showing up in the workplace, and that it's a problem and what we can do to fix it. Mike Domitrz is the host of the Respect podcast. He's also the founder of the Date Safe Project. So good to have you back.
Thanks for having me, Tiffany.
Yeah, this is interesting to me, the fact that people felt like, there was a lot of disrespect, but also that it's getting worse. I would think in the face of the Me Too movement and everything that's going on just in our society that it would be getting better.
Yeah, here's the problem, though. Imagine that the topics in a company that concern people are like a skyscraper. And they go, oh, we have sexual harassment on the 20th floor and we have discrimination on the 18th floor. And they're trying to solve the problem on the floor instead of the foundational issue, which is a lack of respect. They're not building their organizations based in respect. And if they did that, you wouldn't have the problem on the 17th floor and the 19th floor. So employees feel like they're getting bombarded with what we're doing wrong, what we're doing wrong. And that doesn't feel any more respected because we're not fixing the problem.
So where do employees come into this? Where do they lie in the problem of it and creating a culture of respect? When we're talking about whether you're a business owner or you work in the environment, where do we start?
Yeah, we start at the foundation, which means leadership. So we need CEOs, we need the head of HR saying, hey, what do we do to transform our culture and give our employees the training, the education, and the place where they want to thrive and feel valued and appreciated.
Yes.
When you combine those things, respect starts to show itself naturally instead of forced, which is sort of what's happening. People are saying, do this, and it's not natural.
You can't say this, yes.
Right, right.
Okay, so let's talk about disrespect in general, because a lot of people will say, well, I don't get it. What's happening? What are these subtle signs of disrespect that are showing up over and over in workplaces?
Common one is, I would have just cut you off before you finished. And went, oh, wait, let me tell you something. And I cut you off. Well, people go, what's the big deal? I'm just excited because, and by the way, everything I'm about to share, we all do.
Yes, we all do that.
Yes, and some of us do it more often because of our energy levels. Bing, bing, that's me.
Or caffeine, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we have to be, one thing we have to understand, this isn't about blame or fault. It's recognizing how I can be more present and better as an employee, as a colleague, as a leader. And so you cut someone off and now suddenly they feel like they weren't valued. What I had to say wasn't of importance to you. That's really degrading. And that's really subtle, but very degrading.
Well, in these probably like mind share, thought meetings, or morning meetings when you're all coming together to come ideas to pitch or to talk about or within the group, to cut someone off like that, you're right, in that environment especially, is very, like someone's going to all of a sudden just stop speaking up. They're going to stop giving their ideas, and that is a big detriment to a company. Yeah,
or they do this, they get cut off and they roll their eyes, and everybody sees it. So now everybody's like, oh man, they're off topic because it's a feeling of hostility that occurs at that moment. Another common one is that you compliment purely based on looks.
Like we were talking about with an earlier guest.
Right.
That happens in the workplace too.
Oh my gosh, all the time. Yeah, people will say, what, I can't compliment anyone anymore because of what's happening in society? You're like, what were you complimenting for the last 20 years that you suddenly shouldn't be complimenting? How about you compliment based on their work achievements?
Right.
Right, on what they're actually, it goes deep to their heart and their soul of what matters to them.
So you're not saying, don't say to someone, oh, I like your outfit. Oh, you look great with that new haircut. You can still say those things, but incorporate things that have more meaning, that have more substance to them as an employee and purpose within the workplace.
Depends.
Okay.
Because what if that person came from a work atmosphere where everything was about the physicality, and now you start up with it again, and they start to go, oh, that's how I'm being viewed again, right? So the one thing that nobody teaches about a culture of respect is to ask people what triggers them, what bothers them, because you don't ever want to do that when they're working with you.
Yeah.
So now you come from a place of compassion and you say, hey, Tiffany, I'm new here and I don't want to be someone who triggers you or creates an uncomfortable atmosphere. What are things that I could do that could trigger you that I should avoid, that I should be cognizant of?
Right.
And because I'm asking it, it doesn't put the pressure on you. And maybe you say, well, Mike, there's nothing, blah, blah, and go, okay, well, if I do it, I want you to be able to tell me. I want to create a safe space for you to be able to tell me. So now it's about empathy, and that's really important with respect.
And immediate open dialogue.
Yes.
And I think this is this relates to a lot of what you do with your Date Safe as well, is it's kind of this ask first. It's a very direct approach to respect. And it seems like what you're saying too is don't be afraid to have conversations that open up the dialogue, that give you the power to, connect with someone correctly.
Yeah, the beautiful part about it is when I can talk to you about what matters to you, what offends you, I get to know you on a more personal, deeper level, and we actually have a more loving workplace. Like, I can't wait to get to work because everybody supports each other. Like, the old idea out there is, well, what if I say the wrong thing? I can't say anything nowadays. Look, if you knew the people and what bothered them and what didn't, they'd actually enjoy working with you more.
Yeah.
They'd enjoy being there. You could be more personal, more open, because you're being sincere with each other and caring.
We all know the person, though, who jokes like, oh, nowadays I can't do anything. You know, there's this constant fear. So, you know, I think the things you're saying really help to combat that. But how... Is there another thing that you can say or do to, like, let someone know, no, this isn't about fear. This isn't about getting in trouble.
Yeah, there's an old Bob Newhart skit where the person's sitting there and they say they have this problem, and he just says, stop it. And he does that over and over again. For the person sitting there going, well, I'm just afraid of everything I'm going to say. I'm just going to say, stop being afraid.
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying that you think you need to be afraid of? And if in any way you are sitting there going, I'm afraid, reroute your thinking and go, well, what would be the respectful thing to say?
Yeah.
What would be the caring thing to say? What would be the empathetic thing? What's based on work that I should say right now? And ask yourself these simple questions to remove the fear and lead with respect.
Yeah. What do you like to hear from people as an individual?
For me, I tend to be somebody who loves to feel from the heart. So I will tell somebody that. Like, if you told me, hey, Mike, your passion had an impact on me. How you shared that impacted my life. So I'm very results driven also. Then people know that, and they go, oh, okay, Mike likes to hear that feedback.
Yeah.
Well, only when it's authentic, that's the key. So don't just say it to say it.
Right.
But now when you see the opportunity, hey, Mike, blah, 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 and it fits me, and it actually is more meaningful, makes me more productive, more creative.
It also gives me an idea into what drives you, your purpose, your passion. So it's great. I think it's wonderful. People can follow along with your podcast as well, which is the Respect Project. They can also find you on the datesafeproject.org website, which is yours as well. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Tiffany. I love being here.